Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. Our recitation today is from Rag Gaudi Gwareri, Mahalla Panjwa, Ashtapadiyan. And the recitation. Ik oankar satna karta purkh gur prasad. जब एह मन में करत गुमाना तब एह पावर फिरत बेगाना जब एह हुआ सगल की रीना ताते रमैया घट घट चीना सहज सुहेला फल मस्कीनी सतगुर अपने मोहदान दीनी रहाओ जब किसको एह जान सुमंदा तब सगले इस मिले फंदा मेर तेर जब इन्हें चुकाई ताते इस संग नहीं बैराई जब इन्हें अपनी अपनी तारी तब इसको है मुश्किल पारी जब इन करने हार पछाता तब इसनो नाही किछ ताता जब इन अपने बाध्यो मोहा आवे जाए सदा जम जोहा जब इसते सब बिन से परमा भेद नहीं है पार ब्रह्मा जब इन किछ करी माने भेदा तब ते दुख डंड अर खेदा जब इन एको एकी बूझिया तब ते इसनो सब किछ सूझे जब एह तावे माया अर्थी नह तृप्तावे नह तिस लाथी जब इसते एह होया जौला पीछे लग चली उठ कौला कर कृपा जो सतगुर मिलियो मन मंदिर में दीपक जलियो जीत हार की सोजी करी तो इस घर की कीमत परी करन करावन सब किछ एक आपे बुद्ध विचार विवेक दूर न नेरे सब कै संगा सच सालाहन नानक हर रंगा करन करावन सब किछ एक आपे बुद्ध विचार विवेक दूर न नेरे सब कै संगा सच सालाहन नानक हर रंगा. The Guru is identifying qualities, habits of the mind that really bind us down. And he's giving us alternatives to that. So for instance, the Pankti in the Rahao says, Satguru apne mohedan dini, the Satgur, the enlightener, has given me the gift. And what is the gift? It is the fruit of blissful tranquility and harmony. Sahaj suhela phal maskini. And I received this gift from the charitable enlightener. Maskini, it means poverty. It means a sense of poverty. It could also mean the vows that people take to renounce, to take the vows of poverty. So it essentially speaks about humility here. Because in the first verse, the Guru says, Jab eh man mein hai, karat guman. As long as one harbors conceit in the mind is gripped by madness. Tab eh bavar. Bavar is literally a crazy fellow. So tab e bavar. And then firat beganna, goes around estranged from others. It leads to not only self-alienation, but estrangement from others. That is the state of someone who is acting out of conceit. But when this being cultivates humility, Jab e hua sagal ki rina, the dust of everybody's feet, literally meaning humility, it recognizes the same self to be present in every other being. And that really is the lesson of Gurmat, to understand, to appreciate the interconnectedness of everything. And then he goes on to list other similar qualities. One is being judgmental. If this being judges others as being less or lesser, jab kisko e janas manda, you feel like you're superior, then the loop of judgment begins, and it is like a noose around the neck. Because if you judge somebody, you will be judged as well, and that cycle will carry on. It won't end. But if, on the other hand, the mentality of polarizing the world into us versus them is dropped, mir tir jab inhe chukaya, then no enmity, all enmity will disappear. Tate is sang nahi bariya. And then again, when this being adopts the psychology of me first, not only thinking that you're superior, but me first. Jab in apni apna tari, when we all do that, then difficulties will become burdensome. Tab isko hai mushkil pari. We all go through this. But when the ultimate cause or the doer is perceived in everyone, then the hot gust of difficulties will not be felt. You will be protected. Tati, the hot gust, meaning difficulties which are formidable. And when the being becomes trapped in the delusion of attachment, and jab in apna badyo moha, then arises in the mind this perpetual cycle of existential fear, because then death and being born become real. Jamajoha, meaning death, time, fear is always on your mind. Jamajoha. Joha means to see, that the agency of death keeps an eye over you. It's another way of saying that your mind then is constantly in a state of fear, because the ego doesn't want to die. It wants to hang on to, it wants impermanence to become permanent. And that's the basic problem. But when the distinction with the transcendental self, the distinction in our minds between the ego and the transcendent self has to be erased. When that is done, Bhed nahi hai par Brahma, then you see that you are really a reflection of that supreme being. That's the realization. And if you continue to make those distinctions between you and the others, jab inikish kare man peda, then it afflicts itself with worry and regret. We've seen that. Tab e dukh dand aur kheda, regret. And it's afflicted with punishment. Well, it is self-punishment. So when you cultivate intuitive awareness of the underlying unity of everything, then a person becomes self-aware. And that is the direction we need to move in. And the same with chasing of wealth. Chasing wealth is like chasing shadows. They'll always run ahead of you. Jab e thave, maya arthi, na tripatave na tislathi. So it does not lessen your desire, nor do you find satisfaction, because you are chasing shadows. On the other hand, if you turn around and chase the sun, then your shadow, meaning wealth, will chase after you. That's the distinction here. Kar kirpa jo satgur milyo. So you see, the compassionate, true enlightener is the key. When the true enlightener, in its compassion, lights the lamp of wisdom within. Man mandar mein deepak jalyo. This is the light of wisdom, good wisdom. Then what happens? We get discernment. We know what true success and failure is. Jeet haar ki soji kari. Because now we are engaged in a losing game. It's a losing battle. When you chase outwardly wealth, you're really in a losing game. But when wisdom illuminates the mind, you begin to recognize the value, what is in the body-mind complex. So Nanak says, cultivate the qualities of the one who is in perpetual existence, such a salan, and is filled and become filled with devotion, hararanga, because that one is not only the doer, karavan, sab kish ek hai. That one is really the ultimate doer. This is a recognition, a realization that we have to have. And the Guru has shown us some of the things that we can do to reach that goal. On that note, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.